at that camera. Hey, everybody. Grant Miller here, Miami Community Newspapers. We're at South Dade. Shoutout. That's South Dade Chamber of Commerce. And we got Kerry here.
Things are happening.
Kerry, you rocking and rolling?
I'm rolling. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty much so rocking these days as well.
You want to introduce our guest?
Yes, I do. I want to introduce everyone to Dr. Les Burke. Les is the new CEO of the South Dade Chamber of Commerce. He's been in the community. We've been searching as I've been moving and heading up north. And we had a lot of great applicants. It was a pretty intense competitive nature that you all created, but the Exco worked really hard on it and did a lot of interviewing, and Les made the final four, and then he made the final one, and already he's hit the ground running. We've already had an event. I went to introduce him to everybody, and he already knew everybody. So
which event? I wasn't invited.
The Kerry Manufacturing down there. It wasn't our event. We were invited to it. So you have an open invitation to everything we do.
Dr. Burke, it's truly an honor. Your history is unbelievable. You served 33 years in the military?
33 years, that's correct. Do me a favor, call me Les. All right. I don't like formalities. I'm Les.
Okay, Dr. Les.
Okay. Okay, Doc.
Okay. It's just Doc or Gunner. So talk about your military history. When you grew up in Fort Myers. So start from there and tell us how you went from high school to military to now.
Okay. Well, I actually I was born in New York. My family moved to Fort Myers in the very early 80s. My dad actually came down and started buying in 79. So my entire family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone migrated to the West Coast, Fort Myers. And so everyone's over there in Estero.
Estero.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I know that little community.
Yeah. I left. I needed to do something. I wanted to see the world, and they'd always been saying, join the Navy, see the world. And that's actually what happened. Very, very true to that. Obviously, I stayed quite a while. I had a good time. You don't usually hang around if you're not having fun. So quite frankly, I changed from enlisted to I took a commission. I got off active duty, went to law school. I went a graduate of Florida State Law. And
woo, woo, woo. Can we get applause or something, Tommy? You're hiding me, baby. Go ahead.
I stayed up in the Panhandle. I lived up in the Panhandle for about 10 years.
You were in reserves then?
Yes. When I came out, I immediately went in the reserves.
Okay.
And took a commission while I was in the reserves. And that was it. The things that I did on active duty included, I was a salvage diver. So the reality of it is, just like they said in the movie, if it fell in the water, we found it. I was involved with one of the shuttle recoveries.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
where was that?
Toledo Bend, Texas, which is right at Nacogdoches.
You act like people in Miami know where it is.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. That's in Texas.
How deep? What? I'm totally interrupting because, as I always do, it's my last time, so I get to do
right.
really
whatever you want.
What was your deepest dive?
I've been to a little over 300 feet. Okay, so
and
300 feet.
How long does it take you to come back up?
That's 100 yards for us football people.
Yes, that's correct.
It's a football field.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Wow, quick math.
Yes, yeah.
I got to remember that.
150 wide, 300 feet long.
There you go.
So you go down, and you can go down faster than you can come back up. Am I correct in saying that?
That's true.
Okay.
Yes.
And then do you have to go through any decompression process once you're back on the ship?
Typically, when you go that deep, you do.
Okay.
I would say that most of the working dives that I did, they weren't that deep. So that particular dive, and actually we did another dive and cost me my hearing. One of my buddies, we were doing a recovery job of a trainer up in
trainer?
A training aircraft. So we always say that there are more Navy divers that are picking up stuff from pilots than pilots picking up stuff from Navy divers. But there was a T-38 that exploded at 12,000 feet with no warning, and the Navy grounded all of them in the entire fleet.
What year was that? Do you remember?
1984. 1984. And so we had to find every piece of that aircraft so that they could figure out
And
what
where
was wrong.
and how low was the ground? I mean, where is it?
It was up in the Pax River, which is off the Chesapeake Bay. It was in 90 feet. And if you know anything about the Chesapeake Bay, there was zero visibility. So the entire operation was done. Didn't matter if we were diving during the day or the night. There was no light. And so we actually dove around the clock. And what ended up happening.
And you're bringing lighting down there. And
Yeah, right. You brought light down there. But most of the time, especially when you're trying to conserve power, you're just feeling. Okay. When you felt something you wanted to look at, then you turn your light on.
So that's 30 feet, 30 yards down.
Right.
And what happened?
Well, for me, I had already completed my dive. What happened with actually was our master diver during his dive, he got bent. And so when
What does that mean?
That means, well, actually it was an arterial gas embolism. So he came up too fast and gas escaped from its normal path in your system. And you have bubbles that'll come out. They could go to your brain. They go through your heart. There are a lot of bad things that can happen. And so to resolve that issue, we'll put them in a recompression chamber. So chamber has two meanings for me, by the way. And you press that person down. When I say press him, you literally, by putting air pressure on top of it simulates the depth. So we had to take this gentleman down to 165 feet. And I'm sorry, Bruce, that I called you a gentleman. I'll never do that again.
You're not allowed to call people that?
Well, not Bruce.
You still friends with him?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, in the process, to save his life, the inside chamber, which I was in that dive, your ears are expendable. And so and there's an inequality in air pressure as you go down. You can equalize that manually. Well, if you're pressing this person down as fast as you can to
Save his life.
To save his life, your ears are expendable. And so I had what they call went right out of my brain. Essentially, it was a round window fistula, which is a tear in my inner ear. I can't believe that.
But you saved someone's life.
Yeah. Well, I didn't save him. The guys on the outside did. I was just in there with him. And if he didn't do the right thing, didn't put his oxygen mask on, I just smack him in the face or something like that.
Bruce, his name?
Yeah. Wake him up.
Wake up, Bruce. All right. So
Thank you for your service lesson. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
And we were talking the name of that movie that we were talking about.
Men of Honor.
Men of Honor. It's if you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's on Netflix or whatever. It's a great movie. And you told me that you watched the movie and you were a part of it.
Well, Carl Brashear, who was the first African American to make it through the Navy's Deep Sea Salvage School, actually ended up being my mentor in the early days. Carl was the first African American to make it through that program. I was the 8th. And that's never been a big deal for me. And people say, well, you're one of the first 10. But there was 27 years in between Carl and myself. And I guess...
Wait. So Carl, what year was that?
When he graduated in 1954.
And then 27 years later, there was
eight.
There's 7 more people than made you 8.
Right. So between Carl and myself, only 6 other African Americans had completed that program.
Now, are there more African American divers?
Yes, there are.
Okay, so you got over that hump.
Right.
So you're military, and you understand you have 5 children, ranging from what age?
My oldest is 43. My youngest, I always forget. He was born in 95, so that makes him 26.
Okay. Cup of coffee.
All right. So you've been living in South Dade for a while, and I know why, but why you think you're qualified to take this chamber to the next level?
I'm doing this because I want to. This is not a job that I have to have. I'm excited about it. To actually get this train that Kerry has started moving and maybe make it move a little faster or a little stronger. That's what it's exciting to me. The people in South Dade, and I have to laugh about that, which, we're all south of 184th.
Right.
They're great people. There's been a lot of growth. But the businesses are there, but I just want them to coalesce. I want them to get together. And Kerry started that, and all I'm doing is keeping it going.
Keep the train going. Did you work on the military base at all?
No, I used the military base. Being on active duty, I dove in the Keys. I've been diving in the Keys since the 80s. And so for me, it was an inexpensive place to stay. I could spend $25 a night.
Where?
At the base.
At the base.
They got a hotel or what is
No,
it?
well, they had a
For
visitor.
military.
Yeah,
For military.
They had a visitors
Veterans.
officers.
Tommy,
course.
Tommy,
Yeah.
you got an opportunity
They,
there.
have they call it lodging.
Lodging.
Right.
And so if you're a military, you can stay on the base. They have a place for you to stay. Do they feed you too?
Well, you have to pay for it all. So, I
For the
could.
CAC.
Yeah, they would.
Wow.
The Air Force is very accommodating. I have to. I can't say much about the Navy. And the Army is even worse. The Army made me eat MREs and everything.
Stay
but
in your seat, Tommy.
the Air Force, yeah, they were always, come on in and have a good time.
Okay, so the South Dade Chamber has, Kerry, who happens to be here, took off. She's been there how long? 2 years?
3.5 years.
3 years. The last year, the toughest year of anybody, the chamber has thrived through this virus, through Corona, whatever you want to call it. It has thrived. So you're coming in at a great time, and your military experience is going to help. You're going to keep everybody marching in the right order, hopefully. Correct?
Well,
I hope so.
Let me explain a little bit of that, and I'll get closer to the mic, Tommy. We had already started this with Mark Trowbridge, this coalition of chambers, and this is one of the reasons why we were so honed in on what Les was saying when he was answering the questions during the first and second interviews and that kind of thing, was this collaborative efforts that we've had, and that has absolutely positively demonstrated to be one of the greatest success stories for all the chambers in not just South Dade, but all of Miami-Dade County, because of us coming together. And this epic season that we are I really do believe we're just about to the total tail end of it. But in the beginning days, we were on the call every single week, helping each other out, talking about each other, what's going on up there in North Miami, what's going on down here. They had no idea. A lot of the folks had no idea the plight of the farmer before all of this, but especially during this. We've talked about this many times moving forward. And Les got it. I do think it has to do with his military background. Les also has a nonprofit background as well. He has helped underserved children learn how to dive. And
where, in Miami?
Yes.
When you say dive, you mean scuba dive or snorkel dive?
I mean,
that's diving to me. I'm a Miami. Just get in that water's diving.
No, I have to thank you for that, Kerry. But I have a youth program. It's called Junior Scientists in the Sea. I teach underrepresented and underserved kids.
Underrepresented, that's a nice word.
Okay. How to scuba dive.
Where?
Wherever they are. I've worked in Deerfield Beach. We have a program in the greater Homestead area. We're getting ready to expand the program into a facility in Key Largo. We have a chapter down in Key West, and we have a chapter in St. Croix.
Okay. So let's just use Homestead. So these kids are the underrepresented. You find them, they find you, and where do you teach them to scuba dive? In a pool?
We start in a pool, and then we'll go into.
Always do that now.
Yeah, we always start in the pool.
Which pools do you use?
Well, we were using the YMCA's pool, and then I have a pool. When the COVID hit, I started using the pool in my backyard. We also used the pool at Jacobs Aquatic Center down in Key Largo. In fact, that was the pool that we historically used.
Key Largo.
Right.
Right. They have 2 baseball fields back there, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. So, and then you teach them in the pool. How long does it take?
Usually a week.
And then you take them into the ocean?
Well, first we take them into a facility called Jules Undersea Lodge. It's kind of a lagoon. So they're in.
Yeah, that. Okay.
Right. And so, but what that does is it gives them that first step into being in the ocean or being in the open water,
right,
without the, oh my God, what's out there. But that's only 1 day and 2 dives. And then the next day we're out in the ocean. We'll go out on the reef and look at fish. And then we teach them to do coral restoration, which is very much a big thing right now.
So how long have you been doing that?
This program I started in 2005.
Okay. So that's
16
years. Are you still in contact with any of those kids?
All of them.
And has any of them who are 10, 11, 12 years old gone into the field?
I have 2 that have gone, but actually one to the University of Maryland. He was offered a full scholarship to study fisheries. And when he started with my program, when he was in the 9th grade, he had no idea what he was going to do with his life. I have students that come back and actually work our summer camps. I have a young man that's Actually, I was at exit 1 with him last night. He's here.
What do you mean exit 1? The last exit on the turnpike?
No,
What's exit 1?
tap room exit 1.
Tap room exit 1.
You've not
Oh, yeah.
been there?
Yeah. So we were there last night, but this young man came down from actually Maryland to spend the summer with me to help me get this excuse me, program going, because I need to transition out of that, because I do want to spend my time with the chamber. But he is in the process. He will start his PhD program in marine science.
This is an alumni
of my program
from 16 years ago or 15 years ago. Congratulations.
And so I lose him in August, but he's here dedicated to transitioning me out of the program.
Okay, now that particular kid, where was he trained in the water? Was he in Homestead, or was it some other?
No, it was up in Maryland.
Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
How many children more or less have come through your program over the last 16 years? Do you know?
I've had about 40 down here.
Mm-hmm.
I've had actually 15 or so in St. Croix. There have been over 100.
Over 100.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Which is no small thing. Let me tell you what, there's something special about every sport that child can be and participate in. Diving, I did it once. I'm not going to say which country I was in. They gave me a lesson, and an hour later, I'm going down. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't want to go any deeper if I can't just hold my breath and get up to the top. And my husband's been, scuba diver for years and years and years. There's a sense of confidence building that all sports bring, I believe, especially team sports. But this is at a certain point, it just becomes a one-on-one. You're down there by yourself. You got to know where your oxygen levels are and all this kind of stuff. You always dive with a partner. Am I correct? And always should dive with a partner. But nonetheless, there's a confidence building process in diving that the way in which you attain that is unique to, I believe, all other sports. And it's a phenomenal opportunity. And then when you're down there, you're separated from all of this. You're right under it, but you're separated from it. And there's an experience that happens in diving that, again, doesn't necessarily happen in other sports. It's very unique, very unique experience.
And that's true. And I have to say, because there's another example, we had a young lady here. She's from Cutler Bay that went through the program. She actually didn't learn to dive with me, but she joined the program. We do a lot with kids with public speaking, and we're always talking about the environment. We are creating stewards. This young lady went to Tallahassee several years back and lobbied at 13 years old the legislature to pass the law that expanded the Everglades. That law was passed. That bill was passed, became a law, and they actually read her name out after the vote and gave the credit to that young lady. She was 13 years old.
Wow. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to have you come on the show once a week, talk about South Dade Chamber of Commerce. We're going to talk about new trustees, new members, things you're going to do. So in your first 100 days, what's your plans? Because I know as a military guy, because we say, well, you used to be a military guy. No. It's like once you're an athlete, you're an athlete. Once you're a military guy, it's in you. So I know you already have it written down. Give me some of the things you want to do in the first 100 days.
Well, essentially, we want to, for me, my immediate goal is to get everyone out of their homes, out of their offices. COVID is essentially over. Okay, we've beat it. And I know that the folks in South Dade want to get out. They want to get together. I saw that at Kimmery's the other day, and it was just so much fun, and everyone was smiling. And I think that that's one of the first things I want to do is every member of the chamber and every potential member of the chamber, we need to start having after-hour events, so we can just have a good time again and realize that, we're in America, we're alive, we're in South Florida, and we're fine, and we're going to grow. And then from there, we're going to get on a path of growth. I already have earmarked certain people that I'm going to reach out to. I have several folks that I want to have on this show because they do great things in the community. They're already members of the chamber, and we need to know who they are. We need to shout out, and we're going to do that. Yeah,
you're right. You're going to have to shout out because some of these people don't want to do a shout out. You're going to give them the support, and your nonprofit thing. We could talk about it all day long because not everybody scuba dives, But when you take people that are underrepresented and taking scuba diving, that's incredible. So South Dade will be once a week, South Dade shout out. But now the real test. Les, you ready?
You ready?
Yep.
I have not prepped him. I have not prepped him.
You ready?
You're on your own.
You're on your own.
But she's really quick on his feet.
Your 5 kids, birthdays, go top to bottom, and your wife's. Do you have a mother-in-law?
Let me just get through this one at a time, okay? So
top to bottom.
August
43.
1st, February 21st, June 26th, March 8th, and August 1st.
Your wife's birthday.
September 4th.
Ooh, there you go. Way to go,
All right.
Donna.
Your favorite hot dog place in the country?
I have to say Nathan's.
That's fighting words. If you don't eat Arbetters, I have to take it.
Okay, you fight him.
I have to take you to Arbetters on Bird Road.
Oh, wait. Yep. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Yeah, Nathan.
I went to varsity.
They're going to have to join the chamber. They just get way too many shout outs.
Atlanta last week.
Mm-hmm.
Arbetters Chili's the best. And Tommy does a talk show every day, but he has one on Wednesday. It's called what, Tommy?
Weenie Wednesday. I love it.
They're the sponsor of it. As a kid, who was your superhero?
Me? No, I'm only kidding.
Or as an adult?
Well, as a kid, I used to watch Sky King. That's how old I am.
Sky King.
That's a
Sky
new one.
King. It was a TV show. It was a
mark this
pilot.
day.
Okay.
It's a new one, Sky King.
Your favorite animal?
Shark, no doubt.
Okay.
See,
your favorite taco place?
They closed.
Ken.
Yeah. My favorite taco place was on the corner of 320 and 177 Chrome Avenue in Homestead, and he closed about 3 months ago. After 30 years.
I know.
I know. Okay.
I'll introduce you to a new guy.
When you go to dip, where you eat fish?
Yes.
Where?
Oh, where do I eat
Where's
fish?
your favorite restaurant?
I'm sorry. My favorite fish place, I would have to say, is in Monroe County.
What is it?
Okay, Skipper's.
Oh,
Skipper's is
Skipper's
good.
good. Tommy, is Skipper's good to you?
Yeah, I'm more a Snappers guy.
I like Snappers too. I like Snappers too.
All right. Favorite place to eat chicken?
Ooh,
We'll pass.
Yeah.
All right. Give me words, not
Skipper's good.
sentences, about Thanksgiving. What do you love about Thanksgiving?
Stuffing, turkey, football.
Okay. We can talk about the draft.
Now we're wondering why we chose him.
Okay. Your favorite cowboy?
I'd have to say Dale.
Who?
Dale.
Who's Dale?
Oh gosh, his last name went out of my
Okay.
head. Evans.
Okay.
Dale Evans.
Okay,
Dale Evans.
Your favorite cowboy movie? Oh
favorite.
God. We'll go
Favorite
to the
cowboy
next
movie.
one. Favorite football team? College and pro.
Okay, well, I'm a Seminole. We're on a downslope right now, but I'm know Bobby Bowden. I did work with him. I have a photograph with him. I'll always be a Seminole.
Okay.
But wait, you asked for pro also. Okay, and so I'm here. I've always followed the Dolphins, and so they're my Miami Dolphins.
Oh, very good. Favorite burger place?
Ooh, I'm not a big burger guy.
What?
But yeah.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Next.
We'll work on that.
Your favorite pizza place?
Mamma Mia's.
Okay,
Members of the chamber.
The last one. As a kid, what was your favorite Christmas gift?
My bicycles. I like riding bicycles.
That was in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure.
Okay.
You're gonna look at this camera, and we're gonna say, "Thanks, Doc," or Les, Mr. Burke, or Gunner. Gunner, is that okay?
That's fine.
Gunner, I'm looking forward to having you on the team, and it's truly an honor just to be sitting next to you. Served 33 years in the military. We want to thank you. South Dade is going to be very. Kerry, you want to close?
Love you guys. It's been an honor to serve the community for 3.5 years. I'm thrilled to have this amazing gentleman fill the seat and fill the shoes. I know he was saying, got big shoes to fill. My feet are not that big. Les is going to do a great job. South Day is going to be better than ever before. And don't forget to shop, drink, dine local. Love
Have
you
a
guys.
great day.
Bye.
Bye.